All right, y'all. So, look, y'all. I always come back and I always talk to y'all about love and relationship because I feel like I have to, Granted, some people probably wish I would shut up. I've had people tell me that because I'm not in a relationship that I shouldn't talk about relationships. I'm like, but I study relationships actually, and I learn a lot, and I think I can give valuable advice. Because I don't just learn from my own experiences, things that I've been through, but I learn from the experiences of others, the things that I see other people go through in their stories and their testimonies. Like, I don't need to live something or to currently be in something in order to be able to speak on something. Like, I don't need to have gone through it or recently gone through it or in it or in the trenches of it in order to be able to give good advice on it. A smart person learns from their mistakes, and a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And I try to be a wise person. And throughout my life, I try to learn and obtain and grow and evolve and, continue to put more knowledge in my bucket of knowledge. I try to expand myself. And, I think we can learn something from every single person we come across. A lot of people are super judgmental and they act like, or let's say, for example, you're in the word like myself, but you feel like you can't learn from a worldly person, right? I think if you come from that state of mind, then you are very kind of conceited or acted like you're better than that person. Because we can learn something from everyone. I don't care if they're a gang member on the streets. Guess what? You can learn something from that person. As I say, chew the meat and spit out the bones. Take what works for you and leave behind what doesn't, all right? But I just wanted to talk about love and relationships because I know, like, we always trying to pursue something for our lives. Like, people are trying to pursue their careers and what they want to do for themselves throughout this life. But also one of the biggest pursuits, and I've said this in the past in my videos, is a relationship, to find someone to settle down with. However, we don't talk about it enough. People aren't being trained to grow, or people aren't being trained to grow into what it means to be a wife, and men aren't being trained for what it means to grow and to be a husband. And while there are teachings and trainings out there, that's why I submerge myself in things like that, because all that is an ultimate goal of mine. A lot of people aren't pursuing these things, and they aren't out here teaching these things, or they're not readily advertised, right? So it's like, it's one of the biggest pursuits in this life, just like, again, your career, but people aren't pursuing this. People aren't teaching themselves and training themselves up in it to be a one-day spouse. And so I like to talk about this stuff because I think it's so important. Like, you're not going to come ready-made for a relationship. And granted, no amount of preparation in the world is going to make you ready for it, really. And the true trials and tribulations, the true tests will only come once you're in it. And a lot of things are going to come up in it, y'all. Things that you think you've healed from, or things that you think you've dealt with and grew from in the past, or that you're over. Let's say you got trust issues, right? You might get close to someone, and then you're going to realize, because that trust is going to be tested, we're all going to experience that moment where we're like, oh no, like, I just hope I can trust this person. And then you're going to have fear come up. A lot of us at least might have fear come up, like, okay, I'm afraid to trust and be vulnerable. And then we realize that we haven't addressed a lot of the issues that we've thought we addressed in the past. And we only thought that because we weren't close to someone in the time. Until we get the time of being close to someone, you feel that vulnerability. Only then will you feel whether or not you have grown or have moved past certain things, because we all have baggage, right? We all have some type of baggage. None of us comes to a relationship with a clean slate. However, there's just certain baggages that we shouldn't come to the table with. For example, being tied to a bunch of people of the opposite sex, especially, ones that you've been involved with. You got, it happens a lot, I think, more so with men than women. However, women are catching up in this day and age. But a lot of people like to try to keep around like exes. Like, why is your ex your best friend? Say what? Y'all, unless y'all got kids together, y'all really don't have nothing to talk about. Not if you're looking for a relationship in the future with somebody else. That person, why they are there, why? I have no idea, because your future significant other, your future spouse isn't going to be okay with that. Now, granted, there's rare situations where some people do become really good friends afterwards, and there's literally nothing romantic there at all. And the new person that comes along may be okay with it, but it's not something that I would ever recommend as a general rule of thumb. Anyone that you've dealt with in the past, they got to go. They shouldn't be present. They should be a non-existent. So that's the type of baggage that you cannot come to a relationship with. I'm sorry. Like, anybody who has any dignity, self-love, respect, and understand the type of drama that can come with that, they're not going to entertain that type of situation anyway. So if you want someone with high morale and, character and who is smart and utilizes wisdom when it comes to getting to know you, you better go ahead and get rid of the messes before you come into a situation, because you might miss out on the best thing to you. The best thing for you. But nonetheless, with relationships, y'all, and coming from a godly aspect of being a woman of Yah, right? Being submitted and committed to Yahuwah. I just want to continue to encourage you, ladies, stop settling. Stop settling. Do not settle. I don't care if it seems like he's the last man alive. I don't care if you go the rest of your life. And I know you might think, what? I'm going to be single all by myself the rest of my life. Or, girl, I need me a sex life. Or I need this and I need that. It's like, look, ladies, at the end of the day, if you are truly submitted and committed to Yahuwah, if you're truly rooted in him, you're not going to want to settle. You'll be willing to stay by yourself for the rest of your life before you choose to settle. You're going to be willing to say, nah, I'm good, even if it means, not finding my husband until I'm like 50 or something. And I understand, like, a lot of women be like, why I want to have babies and I want to be married and this and that. Well, I say the same thing. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know what I stand for. My relationship with Yah is the utmost important relationship in my life. Everything else is secondary. Any relationship after that is secondary. He is primary. God is Yah. He's my everything. Literally, he is my everything. And I don't know where I would be without him. As they say, Yah above everything, and I put him before everything, and I put him before any man that I could come across. I don't care how attractive this man might be, or how good he looks, what money he might have, or whatever attributes or other things that he might bring to the table. If he's not submitted and committed to Yahuwah, I ain't going to be submitted and committed to him. I'm not going to get involved with him. I'm not going to entertain the idea of a relationship with him, because at the end of the day, if a man can't truly lead me like Christ loves the church, like how Yahusha died for the church, and he can't love me in that aspect, he can't lead me spiritually, then I'm settling, right? I'm settling, because it'd be better off to be alone than to get in a relationship with someone just for the sake of having a relationship, but all the while not being spiritually fed, right? Because if you're not spiritually fed, you can't really be completely happy, I don't think, personally. I mean, if you're in touch with the spiritual self, your spiritual person, you cannot be completely happy or fulfilled within a relationship where that man cannot spiritually lead you, And as we see, there's a lot of men out here who say, oh yeah, I'm a man of God, I'm a man of this, blah, blah, I do this and do that. But let you talk about not having sex before marriage, and he gonna look at you with the side eye. He gonna look at you like you crazy, and he'll be like, oh no, I ain't with that. And that's like, okay, well, if you talking about the same God that I serve, the Yahuwah of the Bible, that isn't just a requirement that he asks of me. He asks it of you too. But if your penis, your appendage, does all your thinking for you, makes all the moves for you, then you're not somebody I would want to be with anyways, because that means you have no self-control. I can't be out here with all this self-control. Now, granted, we're not going to get it perfect. We're not always do things right. Hey, I necessarily have self-control with everything that I say, right? Some of us are stronger in some areas and weaker in others, right? So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not perfect either. But if I can have self-control with my body, and I'm going to be dealing with a man who can't, this isn't a man who's going to honor me and wait until marriage. This is going to be a man who's creeping around behind my back, talking about he a man of God, he love me, he this, he that, and he want this and that. But all the while, will be sleeping around behind my back, because if he can't control his sexual desires, even within a relationship, even if we did get married, he wouldn't be able to control that and lead that to just me. If his flesh arises in any given moment that I'm not around, he very well will give into that type of situation. And I think it's so important to talk about this, because a lot of ladies overlook. I've come across many of women. I've had friends who, really seem genuine about really wanting to do things Yah's way, but then they come across a man and they get involved with a man. It's been like this with a lot of my friends. And I've had my fair share in the past years ago, but not when I truly submitted, said no more, right? So, been saving myself for 9.5 years now. But a lot of my female friends, it's like, we seem to be on one accord, but then they get with these dudes that aren't submitted at all, or only halfway submitted. Then you're not really submitted and committed. As the word says, he will not take you hot nor cold, or be neither, if you're lukewarm, he will spew you out of his mouth, out of his mouth. He will not accept you. So you can't be riding the fence and have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And that's Yah's word, right? That's his word. However, you'll have women deal with these dudes. And it's like, okay, everything that you said that you want and everything that makes you feel safe and secure, which is a man of Yah who's really trying to do things his way, someone you could truly trust to submit to, and someone you could trust with your heart, and you have that security within, like, then you're out here lowering yourself, right? These women have literally given up very important values to be with these men. So I question, why are you ladies, sisters, why are you ladies giving your relationship with Yah away for a worldly man who cannot give you the love that you need, who could not possibly love you in the way that Yah intended for him to love you? Why are you settling, sis? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these women end up regretting it. Or if they don't regret it, they either end up regretting it because they end up going through a lot of pain and torment in the relationship, and they didn't get what they want, and they end up splitting up in the first place because they're not getting what they need. Or they're not getting what they need in the aspect that, okay, they stay with this person, then they just threw the relationship with Yah in the trash for this person. So ladies, I just want to further encourage you in this. Stop giving yourself away, your relationship away with Yah for a man. Stop giving your relationship away with Yah for a penis. Stop giving your relationship away for the desires of your flesh, you know? And a lot of women, I think a lot of women are really willing to wait and submit, but then they get involved with a man who's not, and then they throw it away. And it's like, sis, he's not worth your body. Until a man marries you, walks you down the aisle, or if he takes you to the courthouse, however y'all choose to get married, he does not deserve you, sis. He has not earned the rights to your body. You know, I've had men tell me, oh, you selfish with yourself. You selfish. I'm like, should I not be? Oh, I said just be spreading eagle for you, huh? Just because, huh? Like, these men are wild out here. I had, a man tell me before, he was like, what? When I told him when I was saving myself until marriage, he was like, huh? I can't be in a relationship, but yet I can't have sex with my woman. I'm like, I wouldn't be your woman though if I'm not your wife. Like, they be trying to put labels on you and claim you as something, yet they're not really giving you a title. Even boyfriends, fiancés, he don't give rights to your body. If he's not your husband, he does not get those benefits, sis. Stop settling and stop throwing your relationship away for a man, for a piece of meat, a man who doesn't know Yah, who could never truly fulfill you and give you again the love that you need. Because if he can't lead you spiritually, then honestly, everything else is fleeting. I don't care what he can do with you physically, mentally, emotionally, but 9 times out of 10, he's going to fall in a lot of those aspects. Heck, you got a lot of women staying in a relationship with men just because the sex is good, but guess what? You feel empty and depleted because of all that is there is the sex in the moment, but then outside of that, your emotions all over the place. You don't feel secure. You're not happy. You're not content. And because you don't really possess this man the way that you want to. You want him to be this thing that he's not, but all because he said, I'm a man of God, and you believed him, even though he showed you everything outside of that, sis. I don't care how good the chemistry is. I don't care how good he look, how much money he got. If he's not truly submitted to Yahuwah, sis, he cannot give you the love that you need and the love that you deserve. So yes, you are settling. So I just want to encourage you to not entertain yourself with these type of men. Walk away from the lifestyle that you walked away from and keep walking. Sis, we didn't grow and mature in Yahuwah and be molded and sculpted and pruned and pressed and tried and gone through all the spiritual warfare and all these growing pains just to revert back to the type of men that we walked away from. A worldly man can never give you what Yah has for you. So wait, sis. I don't care how long, how hard. I'm in this wait with you, but continue to wait. Continue to press through and endure, and do not settle, sis, because it will always be better being alone than being with a man that Yah doesn't have for you, a man that Yah never had for you, that Yah never told you to get with, because at some point you're going to end up regretting it. And I'm telling you, when you by yourself, even if you are alone, like the love and the joy within that Yah provides, there's nothing like it. There's nothing more beautiful than the love of Yahuwah. And he really provides, sis. He really provides and fulfills. He will fulfill and fill up that empty spot, that hole that you feel like you have because you don't have love. He will fulfill that, sis. He will fill you up in that. And really only in that, and exuding love and being filled with love overflowing, not a cup half empty, but a cup half full, and then only getting filled as time goes on. That beautiful, rich, raw love that will pour from you is what's really going to draw in the right man in the first place. Because sis, just the way that Yah is molding and sculpting the hearts of women, guess what? He's molding and sculpting the hearts of men. And I know you're going to go through many a men. You're going to come across many a men that you're attracted to, that you vibe with, that you this and that. But sis, if he's not submitted and committed to Yahuwah, and he doesn't see the beauty and honoring your purity, he doesn't see the beauty in helping you to continue to honor Yah in your relationship, then that tells you right there already that he isn't submitted to Yah. That's not what Yah has for you. If he don't respect his own relationship with Yah, he can never respect yours. So continue to pray, to press forward and endure this and wait. I promise you, the wait is worth it, even if you wait for the rest of your life. Because again, it's better to be alone and joyous and full within, in which Yah will provide, guaranteed, if you truly place your faith, hope, and love in him. It's better to wait than to settle and be hurt and just empty and depleted and not truly happy because you with somebody that Yah never told you to get with in the first place. As they say, it's better to marry long than to marry wrong. So if long is months and years from now, so be it. Continue to ride it out, sis. I'm here for you if you need more encouragement. Take care.